Greetings to everyone. Today is Wednesday, December the 2nd, 2015, the time being 6:18 a.m. Central Time or Charleston, Missouri time. I'm asking for a worldwide 48-hour prayers from all of those, no matter what your race, your nationality, no matter what your religion may be. I'm asking for you all's prayers that in 48 hours, I have to go to the Mississippi County Courthouse here in Charleston, Missouri for what I call an illegal injunction. Merely because of the fact that I'm freely exercising my First and 14th Amendment, which is guaranteed to me by the United States of America's Constitution. I'm going up there because out of 5,947 people, give or take, maybe more than that here in Charleston, Missouri, according to the 2010 census. Lester Gillespie, most people know him now. He's a black man who works for the Suzanne Family Learning Center, which they have two locations here in Charleston, Missouri, which is 601 Marshall Street, the old G&H Furnishing Company building, which the G&H Furnishing Company people, when they went out of business this year, they gave the building to Suzanne Wesley Family Learning Center. The other one is at what they call now the C.F. Bowen Civic Center. C.F. Bowen, according to my dad, which is 88 years old, and he grew up here, C.F. Bowen was the principal of what they called then that building, the link, that's what's left of it, because they tore most of it down and made it out of parking lot. That goes to show you what these people feel about a historical black school. Well, they forced blacks to go until 1961, until some young children by the name of Davis and some attorneys out of St. Louis took these people to court. Because in 1954, Thurgood Marshall fought Brown versus the Board of Education, which saw segregation being illegal. But anyway, this building is one of the other buildings at 700 Cy Williams Street, or 700, formerly known as Elm Street. That's another location where Lester Gillespie and Suzanne Wesley have locations where they take their programs to. But Lester Gillespie has taken me to court. He said my YouTube videos, which I have probably over 100 of them, said it's trying to incite a riot here in Charleston, Missouri. And he is the intended target. Now, what would Lester Gillespie be an intended target of mine for? What Lester Gillespie don't like is he going around trying to make my name look bad, telling people about my past convictions, but yet I can vote in the state of Missouri, in any other of the 49 states. He can't vote because he's a convicted felon. He's not going to tell you that. He's a convicted felon for giving alcohol to alcoholics and drugs to drug addicts to vote for these same very people that's trying to suppress my voice, trying to silence me here in Charleston, Missouri, because I'm exposing all the wickedness they've been doing for decades towards blacks and towards whites that's not going along with their program. But this illegal injunction was granted on October the 14th, before my side of the story was ever heard. by the judge who used to be the former lawyer, who's the former lawyer for the people that Les Gillespie worked for, the Suzanne Wesley Learning Center. How could that be? You know why it could be? Because people haven't stood up against this corruption. This case had to go all the way to the Missouri Supreme Court Chief Justice in Jefferson City, in our capital here, for the Chief Justice to look at it and give it to another judge outside of the 33rd Circuit, which is here in Mississippi County. And they had to bring them from out of the 32nd Circuit, out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. But it'll be heard on the 4th, which is this Friday, on the 4th of December at 1:30 p.m. Central Time, Charleston, Missouri time, at the Mississippi County Courthouse here in Charleston, Missouri. I want you all to pray that God's will be done. And I know it's God's will that this judge stand on the law. I believe he will. I trust God. God told me don't get an attorney. He'll be my attorney. But this illegal injunction, ex pote, it's called, should be null and void on the 4th. Because I'm not charged with no threat. None of the sort. He said that I'm stalking him. I'm not being charged with stalking. He said I'm a threat to his family and all the employees at Suzanne Wesley Learning Center. But when we went to court the first time, October the 27th, 2015, at the Mississippi County Courthouse here in Charleston, Missouri, it was 5 or 6 or maybe more white people that came in the courtroom with him. And I wanted to ask the judge, but I just kept silence to a point, because I figured if he hearing this case and he knew that he was the judge he was the lawyer for Suzanne Wesley before he became judge just this year, or in December of last year, 2014, he knew he shouldn't have handled the case at all, but he did. If he did that, I don't know what he lied or did. If I brought up the fact, who is these other people in here? I only have one ex pote. Where's the rest of the ex potes? If they witnesses here, they shouldn't be in here until they are called in. This is supposed to be Les Gillespie versus Raymond Ivey. The judge even got it wrong. If you listen to the thing, it say Les Gillespie versus Raymond Gillespie. My name never been Gillespie. My name is Raymond Lewis Ivey. But my point is, I ask y'all to pray. And I ask y'all to pray that more voices stand up here in Charleston, Missouri, and not just talk to each other. You see, blacks is attacking me too. But their attacks is just like hitting a blank wall, because God got me covered with the blood. You see, they seen nothing wrong May the 19th, 2008, a little bit after midnight, when the Sergeant Percy Owens came in my house at gunpoint. His chief, Bobby Hearns, and nobody else in this city, Suzanne Wesley, none of them, they seen nothing wrong with them taking my 1- and 2-year-old daughters outside of my house and giving them to their drug addict mother, who sat in the Suzanne Wesley Learning Center shelter in East Prairie. They knew she was nodding on drugs. They let her come out the next day to try to come back to my house and get some more stuff, but I refused. But Suzanne Wesley and them helped her get to Chicago, where she stayed up there 70 days. Do Suzanne Wesley and them tell y'all, and Les Gillespie and them tell y'all, and the chief of police, DCF here in Missouri, the child advocacy director in Jefferson City, did they tell you my then 1-year-old daughter's arm had been broke while she was with them? They didn't tell you that. Did they tell you she has a permanent scar on her arm? They didn't tell you that. Did they tell you they let a white bus driver be alone with my daughters in 2012, February, pulled a knife out? Brenda Bradford wouldn't question this bus driver. You see, he got away because Brenda Bradford, who's the Charleston Police Department, work for the Charleston Police Department, she also is the Charleston R1 School District Resource Officer. She didn't document it. She didn't document when a lot of blacks had been assaulted in that school, sexually and otherwise. She didn't document it when a white couple who used to drive buses for them, the Charleston R1 School District, told them about her son was in his locker room. He's white, friend of ours. And someone touched his private. And they told the family, the husband and wife told the superintendent and the rest of them, either do something about this here or we going to take our child back out of the school again and homeschool him. They had to take him out. They recently moved to Florida. This won't be documented. A black guy, a friend of mine, son was sexually molested by another guy in the school. Brenda Bradford, they're not going to document this here. Blacks in this town whose daughters had been sexually attacked and Brenda Bradford wouldn't let the family or the mother stay there with her daughter when she questioned them, and they did nothing about it. But check the records when a white female something done with her and see what Brenda Bradford do. Brenda Bradford ain't no doubt or no contradiction. It's something personal inside of her and her son, Keith Bradford, who murdered G Unit November the 8th, 2011, who also shot a black in East Prairie. They have something deep inside of them against blacks. But you see, you would never know it because they got a lot of these blacks in this town. If they're not afraid of them, all they doing, they work for Suzanne Wesley Learning Center. They work for Les Gillespie, which works for the Suzanne Wesley Learning Center. They work for Sherry Maxwell, who works for the Lincoln University. All of them is tied in together. They're not going to document certain stuff. They didn't document. What police department wouldn't document the fact that my 1-year-old daughter arm was broken when the Charleston police came in my house and gave my children to a known drug addict mother? What DCF or Department of Children and Family Service wouldn't document it somewhere? But I'm going to tell you where it's documented at. All you investigative reporters, check my daughter's physician at the Ferguson Clinic in Sikeston, Missouri. You can find out who her pediatrician is. Check St. Louis Children's Hospital. Check the documentation. They the one put the cast on her arm. And it's a permanent scar on her arm. Talk to their child psychologist, a Missouri licensed psychologist who has been seeing them since December the 12th, 2012. Check it out. These people cover up stuff. You see, Joey Rice, that's Joeyrice. He's the bus driver, the white bus driver who was left alone with my child, who was giving her all types of gifts, who took on the bus by herself when the school should have been keeping her in the office until the rest of the children got out. They let him get away. Brenda Bradford again, a white man doing something to a black / Dominican / Puerto Rican child. There's no report made. She didn't even talk to the bus driver. She didn't see no reason to talk to him, she said. I got documentation to show that. She said she was concerned about the knife because some children were being frightened. Mine was frightened. These people is evil. Pray with me, y'all, because I'm going to expose these people, black and white. God help us show these people they are not above God's law.